Fanboy Modeling School.
Hello and welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, now in HD, and I am here with my partner in crime,
Steve, really no gimmicks, also in HD. What's going on, my brother?
I am living the dream that is known as America.
America.
Yes. Did you have a happy July 4th?
I did the most American thing any person can do on the 4th of July.
You got drunk and shot at dark people? I'm sorry. Yo, guys, I want to let it know that this has to do with the story we're going to do later on. I do not believe that we live in a racist country. That will be the only America is racist joke you will hear from the Mantis tonight.
I got up and went to work like every other hard-working American. I went
That's even worse. That's not even fun.
It's the most American thing you can do on the 4th of July. I got up, strapped my shoes on, put on my work uniform, and I was like, capitalism. I hope to drop dead in my job one day, right at the counter, mid-sell.
Whoa, brother, man, simmer down.
Shut up,
please simmer down.
5 years of insurance, 12 months financing, no interest, and then a home install. Little American flag shoots right out of my body. I'm like, Oh, Fanboy Modeling School, RizRadio.com, Riz Radio Live 365, where all your deepest, darkest feelings can be manifested on internet radio.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Your worst fears and your greatest dreams all on Riz Radio. Head over to RizRadio.com for further information and listen to us, for Christ's sake. Oh, look what we got. We got a pink princess herself. She says, hell yeah, time and a half. That's what she's talking about. Yeah, that's man, the American way.
Yeah, he got to make that money. It's so funny because all the kids will come to me, do you know if we get time and a half? Do you know if we get time and a half? I'm like, you get nothing. Don't you dare punch in. Get to work.
Oh, yeah, those part-timers?
Yeah.
You're like, you're lucky to have a job. You look at your chart, you're like, I don't even think you get a meal break.
You listen here, number 13. Get to work. You get to work.
Because according to this chart, it looks like you're working 4 hours and 53 minutes. So you will not be getting lunch. You'll only get 1:15, bro. Enjoy your cig. If you can afford them. God bless America, man. So I had a long weekend, but I have to say my long weekend was really disrupted. It was put in horrible spin. Because you basically, when you have a long weekend, I had the Friday off. When you're working a real job, all that means is you have to do 5 days of work in 4 days.
Yes, yeah. Whenever people tell me stuff like that, they're like, "Oh man, long weekend." I'm like, so what you're saying is you got to cram in a week's worth of work into one day, because the rest of your week will surely be sacrosanct, and you'll be sending emails or responding to the same email over and over again with Copilot. Like, I must inform you that I responded to this email and attached you to the previous email a week ago. This has been an ongoing issue for a year, and I've emailed you every day for a year. Please thumbs up if you got this email.
But yeah, so basically I worked a 12-hour and this was not planned, 12 hours on Thursday.
Right.
And it was bitter and hot. And then also we had the heat wave. Now, here's what I'm saying. God bless summer. God bless the heat.
Loved it.
But sometimes it can be crippling. But anyway, did you see fireworks? Any cool shows? Anything?
I heard them. I heard fireworks all throughout Jersey and on my drive home and all that stuff, man. Yeah. It was, it was my last day at my former location for a little bit. I took on a temp role, so I got to take pictures with people that I worked with and, a bunch of good kids, but heard all the fireworks on the way home.
Okay. Very
Do
nice.
do you have a LinkedIn profile? I want to talk about something.
I do. Wait, are you? Wait, why did you ask that question?
Because LinkedIn's an interesting place, man. It's a really interesting space.
It's a place for grifters and snake oil salesmen.
Bro, I love reading the articles from HR people on LinkedIn. They are like a cry for help and, and just condemnation against the business world. Like one post I read was amazing. It was an HR rep saying, so last week I was informed by one of the hiring managers that they were letting go of one of their seasoned managers and they were looking to bring someone else on, but at a fraction of the pay. So I responded, so what you're saying is you fired someone for no reason that was doing the job correctly and getting paid correctly for the job. And now you want someone that has more talent than that tenured person, but you want to pay him less money. It's just like I got no response.
It's funny because you ever been in that situation where you know someone in the real world and you know what they're about and you know like everything about them, and then you go on their LinkedIn and they're hyper professional and their resume is a mile long and they have all these articles and achievements up, and I was like, I don't think any of this is real.
You made all this stuff up. You're not an activator. You're not.
Yeah. You sleep till noon every day. But, it's a weird place. I'm very professional on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn can be weird.
It is extremely weird. We had a partner in streaming that used to stream on LinkedIn, and I always found that a bit bizarre. I'm like, how odd. But it was G4K
right.
of
here's what I'm saying. If anyone, God bless G, haven't heard from him in a while, but if anyone can get away with doing that, it's G because of his style and his energy, which is different than the average streamer.
Right. His streams had a very spiritual corporate-esque vibe to them. Like it was very insightful, very relaxing. But at the same time, it did feel like an onboarding for spirituality.
Into a cult.
G used to kill it, man. He used to kill it.
Man.
Charlie Kirk trial or preliminary trial.
How's that going?
Didn't watch it. Didn't want to click on it. I was having such a peaceful day.
Can't.
Beck said, yes, you can stream. Yes, Beck,
you can
stream on there. You can stream on there. Interesting, right?
Well, I too. Like, I feel like I'm just too hurt about Charlie Kirk, and I'm just like, lock him up, throw away the key. You know me, I'm death penalty guy. I would say end his life,
right?
But I don't want to watch all the gory details or this and the other thing. It's not my form of entertainment.
Yeah, you're an American. You want sanitized capital punishment, like most Americans. Like, I don't want to know what happened. I don't want to see it. I just want to know that the needle made it to the right place for processing. I want to make sure he was processed correctly.
Well, you know what it is? It's It's interesting that it was happening around now because the 4th of July, I noticed, has triggered a lot of memes and a lot of just TikToks about Charlie Kirk, missing Charlie Kirk. They're like saying, I can't believe you missed the 250.
Right.
And so it's almost the very essence of Loving America has reinvigorated the legend of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. Charlie Kirk definitely was the best of all
of us.
Yeah, man. I mean, did he say some things that were not well thought out at times early on? Sure. Did he have some hot takes that you could clip up and turn into biteable moments? Absolutely. Did I think he was a racist and a Nazi? No,
not even close. And people who say that have actually never watched an episode of his work or never seen what he's done. They probably have seen the out of context clips that you speak of. But like, here's what I'm saying, and me and you are guilty of this. Me and you are going to get canceled real hard one day when someone wants to cancel us. All they have to do is go through this podcast, go through our old episodes.
What old episodes? I took them all down.
Yeah, the stuff we have said in the past in the name of debate.
Bro, listen,
It's like,
you couldn't prove there was an old episode. Now Bex is gonna go look. She's like, I can find them. You know who else had an interesting week or weekend? Speaking of white boy summer, was Dustin Poirier, former interim lightweight UFC champion. Are you up to speed on the Dustin Poirier stuff?
No. I mean, I think the last time I saw him, he actually beat McGregor, right?
Yeah, that was quite some time ago. And so Dustin Poirier is retired, right? His last fight officially in the UFC was against Max Holloway for the BMF belt. Not entirely sure, but he had an interesting time at an airport recently. So Dustin Poirier has been dealing with some issues outside of the UFC. He's the type of guy who's, at his own admission, needs to be on track for something. He needs to be training. He needs to be organized. He has to be doing stuff. And in retirement, it seems he's having a hard time adjusting to this new life. And it was Father's Day when this event took place. So he's on an airplane, got kicked off the plane for drinking and being intoxicated. And what ensued next was the most amazingly use of the N-word with the A at the end instead of the hard R. So a little background on Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier grew up in a place called Lafayette, Louisiana, I believe it is. And he went to a school that was Bex, I could easily get y'all out of cancellation. Thanks you, Bex. Dustin Poirier went to school in a 98% African-American school. Do you see where I'm going with this?
I do know what you're saying.
And so when he got taken off the plane, the security guard who came up to him and started to try to de-escalate a drunk Dustin Poirier walked up to him going, listen, my nigga. Like, in case you don't know, why is that a big deal? Dustin Poirier is white. Right. But you know what? Just tell me your thoughts. Who gets the pass and who doesn't? Because I want to queue up this video for you. Was the security guard white? Is the question? The security guard was black, and the security guard recognized him. He's like, "Man, are you Dustin Poirier?" And he was like, "Man, f all that, f all that." And Dustin Poirier tells the security guard, who starts calling for backup. He's like, "Yeah, call him. Call them all. It's gonna be bad, my nigga. It's gonna be bad." Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying. Out of all the debates that happen in the world, all these controversial things, whether we're talking about trans kids or we're talking about abortion, we're talking about the death penalty, we're talking about these gray areas, sort of like, whose point of view is what. I actually believe that the absolute most complicated is the N-word.
Oh, the N-word is very complicated.
Because here's what it is. I'm not a free speech absolutist, but I'm close to one. I'm like I believe in some serious freedom of speech.
Right.
However, I will not tolerate a white person using that word in front of
me. So no passes. No, not giving out any passes.
Oh. And so, as we know, we grew up together, and so whenever I grew up, I used to drop N-bombs all the time. It was like every other word out of my mouth. And here's what it is: that not only did I just mature out of it, and just a lot of profanity has left me over the years. And you've all heard me curse. I curse, but far less than when I was younger. But another thing is, the reason why the N-word had to be eliminated is because a lot of people see me and they don't realize I'm black.
Right.
They're like, and so I understand creates a lot of confusion and a lot of difficulty. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make life easier for everyone else, and I'm just going to stop using it.
Interesting. I stopped using. I shared a clip for you. If you,
yeah, no, that's fine.
I do my best not to use it, but I find that at times it is the only thing that can appropriately like describe what I'm feeling towards the person.
It comes out. It absolutely comes out from time to time. I'm just like, this N-word. This is kind of slipped.
Check it out. This is going to be good.
It's gonna be bad, but bro.
I mean, I just poor security guard that had to deal with that because the guy recognized him, and it's like, oh wait, this is a man that is one of the most elite fighters to ever live, and like, and if you're looking at the clip, you have to ask yourself a question because I see a lot of people, tough guys out there. A lot of people, no one has taken strong offense to this. By the way, I've seen on the internet. This is Dustin Poirier. On the screen right now is some of his handiwork. This man had some of the cleanest boxing in the UFC. Right?
Yeah, no, that is the clip you've chosen is some very clean boxing.
So, what do you think? Do you give him the pass?
Well, if you're asking me, would I confront him in the streets if he used it? Hell no. I have family to go home to, but it's not because he grew up in he has the Elvis excuse, and we all know, like, so the Elvis excuse is like, later on in the future became like a Dustin Poirier excuse, the Eminem excuse, the Mac Miller excuse.
Right,
they grew up in black neighborhoods. Right?
Right.
I get it. I mean, I do get it. I wouldn't fault him, but mainly because he kicked my ass.
It's like Dustin Poirier is the type of fighter too, where you're like, it really is going to be bad, my N-word. Like, look at what he's doing to these people. It's like, I don't want to get hit with one of these shots, bro.
Right.
Like, and any man that wears the brim of his hat that high, it's going to be a bad fight. It's going to be a long, grueling fight at that too, bro.
Right. I mean, but in terms of for security and security and cops and stuff like that, Icy Mike from Hard to Hurt,
right?
He was a cop for many years before he opened up fighting a kickboxing gym,
right?
And he always said it like this. He's like, you never allow it to be fair. He's like, if you're on the street and you're a cop, you're a patrolman, right? You don't have fisticuffs with people. They use a fist. You use a billy club or a taser. They grab a knife. You take out your gun. Right. And that's my advice for security. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't box with a guy like that. Take out the taser.
Yeah, I'm not going band for band with him, man. I'm not going.
Yeah. That's what people think. People think that's what they're supposed to do, or they're trying to be fair. This isn't a fair fight. It's not. You're not in an octagon,
right?
On the street.
Like, you got to do what you got to do to get home to your family. Before they came out and he apologized. He said, "I'm sorry for embarrassing my family." And in his defense, John Jones, another guy who, I'm gonna be real with you. So John responded on X. And he was like, "Dustin, my N-word, I ain't mad at you." He was like, "How can I be so mad you use that word so smooth?" But then you know who John Jones is. Recently, John Jones also had an encounter with someone in a bit of road rage. And I remember the best comment on it because, of course, the guy recorded when John Jones followed this guy who cut him off driving erratically into a parking lot. And one person wrote in the chat, like, "Bro, you're recording this, but I don't think you understand that out of 1 billion people on the planet, you absolutely have picked the wrong person to start an altercation. If anyone's going to strangle you like a scene in Saving Private Ryan, you remember the shh,
right?
Let me John Jones."
Thanks for reminding me of the most traumatizing movie scene I've ever seen in my life. That one messed me up.
Remember, he's like, "Wait, look at me." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." And anyway, now that we got the show off to a very bright and charming way, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, I was figuring we were going to talk about entertainment, a lot of entertainment out in the scene. But before we do that, I want to tell a quick church story.
Oh, let's.
And I just want to know how you would feel about it. I already know how I feel about it, but I am interested in hearing what you think I should feel about it. So I'm at church and it's time for the sermon. And so unfortunately, I was unable to hear the sermon because the pastor starts the sermon and then makes a statement about the 4th of July and then continues. But because of the statement of the 4th of July, I was unable to process anything.
No. What?
Right. And I don't want anyone to think I was livid. I was super angry or whatever like that. It was just that I was like, why would you make a political statement like that? And like, when you're supposed to be talking about God right now, and like, you know what I mean? And so what was said was, yes, I know it was the 4th of July and everyone was celebrating, but I like to take the 4th of July to think back about what this country means and all the ways the country has failed to live up to it, particularly in the areas of civil rights and slavery. And this is all said. And then after making such a statement, continues on like that wasn't said and getting back to the point. And I'm like, and so this is the funniest thing. This is my counter statement to that. I would argue that every other day of the year is a day. If you want to think about that stuff, that's when you think about it, right? But on somebody's birthday, that is not the day that you decide to sit somebody down and discuss all the ways they have failed you and not lived up to their moral code or their expectations.
Right.
Imagine it's your son's birthday and you're like, and he's like, yay, cake. No, son, we're going to talk about how you've been a disappointment all these years. It is the most asinine, ass backwards thing. I mean, it's not the worst. I used to date a Unitarian. You don't want to know what sort of things were said in there, but I'm just saying it's so funny because it's the opposite. Any other time is a time to fix your country. Right. On your country's birthday, you celebrate the positive things about your country.
Right.
And so I was extremely unhappy, but I'm trying to do this thing where I don't be the church complainer. So I'm trying to complain less at church.
Nice. Good for you. But why would this be the thing that you complain less about? Well, I get it because it's like setting yourself up to walk into a brick wall, right? The pastor is monologuing, not dialoguing when they're giving a sermon, correct?
Right.
And it's like, so I go back. Do you really want to be one of those people that sends the email Sunday afternoon, realize the pastor didn't read it, send a follow-up email on Monday? Like, listen, I know you got my email. I'm very disappointed.
So here's what I'm saying. I think I told you about the horror story of the interim pastor and my thing, and he was worse. I actually stood up and walked out on some of his sermons because he just gets incredibly political. You know, he once did a sermon about how it's our job to fight against Christian nationalists who are taking over the country.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is a political statement. That is not a religious or spiritual statement.
Yeah, and just like Dustin Poirier, a lot of Christian nationalists have guns. So what is he proposing? Like, what type of fighting is he talking about?
Another time that he said, the interim pastor at the time, he really wanted us to get a pride flag out front. And, our church we voted it down in our last meeting. It always comes up. And then in our yearly meeting, we vote and and then at one point he said, yeah, you guys all, I haven't been here long. You guys all seem like good people. Well, you'd be better people if you had a pride flag in front of your church. And then he continues with the sermon as if he didn't just say something that was aggressive and in our face.
Like it just nuked the family get together.
and now that I'm saying this and I'm taking the two stories together, is that what people think sermons are?
Yes.
That they're like, it gives me free reign to slip whatever crap I personally am going through into it, and no one can judge me on it because it's a sermon.
Yeah, I think a lot of times what happens is, and I've said this before, man, people don't want to be on the wrong side of history. So everyone's looking for the next 68 civil rights era fight to jump behind, right? But you don't need to do that as a pastor because you're already talking about something rather controversial, which is the fallen state of the world and it needing to seek repentance in the one true God.
Yes. You're already doing radical activism by preaching the word of Jesus.
Right.
Right. And so sliding these sorts of things in, it's just like, it's totally, absolutely, I would say disgusting. Now, I wasn't disgusted at the time, but I was like, I rolled and I was like tacky. And like, I'm my church friends that I sit with. And so we were writing notes. Like, can you believe what was just said? Like, the nerve, right? Kind of right.
Was anyone else perturbed by it?
So this is interesting. Normally, that by Sunday afternoon, the recording of our service is put up on our website, our YouTube.
Right.
This episode is not up.
Oh,
so I'm actually imagining that I bet at least a few people wrote some emails were sent out, and it probably became questionable whether a memory of that sermon wants to
exist on the internet. How many people in your church? Not that it matters, but like,
so this particular one, and this happens all the days, particularly summer and after a holiday, we had like nobody. Normally we'll have 150, maybe 200 people at a service. That's like a good service, right?
Yeah.
We had maybe 50 people there that day. Like almost everyone was out.
Yeah.
Especially anyone who had a teenager was definitely not there. If their kids are teenagers, they were not there. They were at a beach somewhere. Because it's the day after Independence Day.
Yeah. God, right? What's the big deal? Got to get my rest. Can't go worship. No, you know what though, man? It's sad because the pulpit, and this is probably a better layman episode, but the pulpit is a place where you will juxtapose culture against the scriptures, and that's fine, right? And I think it's appropriate to call America to repentance biblically from the pulpit, but it's another thing to do it in like you're giving a TED talk as a secularist, right? It's another thing to not offer the solution of the gospel.
Absolutely. And here's what I'm saying. I certainly wouldn't have had a problem if it connected to that day's readings, but it didn't.
Right.
The sermon ended up being about totally something else. But like I said, I couldn't focus because I was distracted on the politics that I should hate my country. And that is the thing. I'm going to do it every episode, guys. I always do it. I always attack the lefties, right? The liberals. That is the thing about liberals. They can't have nice things.
No, they can't.
Because anytime something good is happening, they then have to question it in some sort of political fashion.
Yep.
They're like, oh, that's a nice house you got that you worked hard for and that you earned. They're like, well, think about the kids in Rwanda who don't have houses. Did you think about that, buddy?
No, I wasn't taking that into consideration when I was getting a mortgage. It just didn't seem appropriate then either.
So I'm not overreacting that was inappropriate to slide into a sermon.
I mean, given the nature of your church, it does not surprise me. It does not surprise me. You being the most biblically sound person at church, it doesn't surprise me at all. But I'm not mad at you for being upset. It entirely was unnecessary. Because who gave that woman the authority to speak on the matters of men?
Steve, of course, is kidding, guys. He loves women pastors. They are his favorite.
That scene from 300 just pops into my head every time. It's like, what gives this woman the right to speak?
But anyway, that's my little church story, and combined with the 4th of July story.
Right. Anything pop off? The Brooklyn Bridge was on fire on the 4th of July, by the way.
Oh, you haven't heard much about that.
Yeah.
I just mostly all the stories I've been hearing is about how awesome America is. Guys, I don't know if you heard, but there's this little place called the USA. Right. And it's pretty awesome. We seem to be winning in every category of everything ever.
The Europeans definitely had a good time here during the.
The Europeans are loving us. Washington, D.C. is looking good. The streets are cleaner because there's less crime on it. We seem to be winning in all areas except for this little Iran thing. But, they're the problem, not us.
Like an ex-girlfriend, they are the reason. So, you ever heard of a little book called Children of Blood and Bone?
Oh, I know the story you're about to bring up. So I have heard of the book, never read it, and not even sure what it's about.
Okay, so you know how people are constantly wanting to race bend characters because there's not enough representation in popular media? Well, here we have Children of Blood and Bone, a book written by a black person with black people and his original content. And Paramount picked up the movie rights for it, and there's a whole bunch of controversy going on with it. But there's only one person that can properly surmise what's going on, and he's a person with his finger on the pulse of black news and politics. It's only appropriate.
Ben Shapiro.
John Campea.
Okay, John Campea. We've got ourselves a John Campea video. Will you enlarge him?
I will enlarge him. Paul. Let's get it.
Oh, it's not as big as it used to be, but it's still a very big deal for studios to take young adult novels, YA as they call them, and adapt them into feature films, hoping to turn them into franchises. Of course, we've seen huge, massive hits like Twilight and Hunger Games, and even what was that one with the dystopian future and the kids had to fight to the death? Or I can't.
Is it Ascendant?
I can't remember the name of it now. Anyway, so they've done a bunch of these things. Well, now there's a new one coming out called Children of Blood and Bone. But there's drama afoot over at Paramount, Kel Supri, where the author of the book, and I'm never going to pronounce her name properly. I'm going to give it a shot. Tommy Adeyemi. I'm sure I'm getting that wrong. My apologies. If I've never
that was a
heard
good
it spoken
attempt.
before. So,
Yeah, that was good.
where
like
the author of the book is straight up saying she will not watch the movie, and saying that the whole process has been quote unquote painful.
Oof.
And it says this, as Tommy Adeyemi's 2018 young adult novel makes its way to the big screen, she has no plan to watch the first film adaptation of her work. The Children of Blood and Bone author recently addressed a fan's question about why she hasn't spoken more about the upcoming Gina Prince Bythewood helmed Paramount adaptation premiering on January 15th. The reason is, there is a reason I will not post anything about the adaptation of my work. That's all, she wrote in a DM that she shared on TikTok, but that's not where it ended. And lastly, since somebody asked, I have not seen the film and I will not watch it, added Adeyemi, who also co-wrote the film with Prince Bythewood. It's been painful holding this back from you all, and I'm sorry if any of you thought I didn't care about us more than any glitter. Goes on. She also shared a screenshot of a DM she apparently sent to I always get this wrong, Amandla Stenberg, who was of course in The Acolyte, which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
but
I was
she
about
was
to
also
say.
in
So this girl, it appears that Amandla Stenberg is going to make her career on race bending character. She'll play any race bend character, and she was part of the whole thing. Now remember, I like The Acolyte.
Right.
I'll say that I straight up like The Acolyte, but people hated on it. People really hated on it, and so she's already a controversial figure, and here she is making more waves.
Yeah, and of course you can't forget the diss track that she made against the critics of The Acolyte.
We're trying to forget, man. For her sake, we're all trying to forget.
Peak hip hop. Did she race bend the character, or is it because she's biracial? Why are you saying that? Because I assume that all the characters in this, I've never read the book. Bex, did you read this series? I assume that they're all black. Are they not? Are they not black?
Here's what it is. What it is here's the rumor on the street. The rumor on the street is that Amandla Stenberg is going to play the one of the few non-black characters, and they made them black.
It's gonna be bad, my nigga.
And so here's what it is: no one would have noticed if it came to theaters, and we would have just watched it. We're like, oh, a black sci-fi movie, right? However, the fact that the author, before is even in has one day out in the public is hating on this is a bad look.
This is okay. It could go one of two ways. It is a bad look, or could this be one of those instances where another artiste is upset with the liberties they had to take to make their book functional on the big screen? And then, if it's not that, will the other side of the table finally feel what it's like to have their work taken and turned into something that you just cannot recognize and your fan base can't get behind? How ironic would it be, my brother, if they recasted every strong woman in this movie to be a strong, independent man?
Yo, I absolutely want to see it, man. I'm a sucker for those memes where they have like a white person, race bending it, like like the White Panther.
Yeah. Became a comic, by the way. It's absolutely amazing. T'Challa's white son. Are you up to speed on this?
So I the first couple of issues I did hear about it, read a report on it. It seems like such a gimmicky plot.
Right. Let's let this Black King cook.
Oh, what is it? The Hate You Give, in which she was amazing in that.
Great.
Who plays Princess Amari in the film adaptation. This is what she said to her. Do not ever use my name in an interview or video again. Do not text me. Do not call me, she wrote to Stenberg. Deadline has also reached out to Stenberg's reps. And of course, then the dreaded, she blocked her on social media.
Oh, that's the sign.
The button that says 1,000 words.
That is okay. So I'm trying to understand what could be so crazy about this. That this human being, I don't know how they express.
So, here's the thing. Here's the whole thing. So it's not just that this, there's drama happening in the production, right? But I am willing to bet, knowing Amandla Stenberg, and once again, I'm making this up because this is my theory of the crime. I don't know anything. I'm not inside or anything. I'm willing to bet that Amandla Stenberg had words with her. Probably wokey words similar to my pastor.
Oh,
probably was like, you're not black enough. You're not an activist enough. You're not rabid enough. Right. And how dare you talk to the creator like that? And that's what I'm assuming. But I'm assuming Amandla made it worse.
Yeah, but I wonder. Yeah, okay, that's good speculation. But what? I mean, okay. What could be so bad that the co-writer of not only like the writer of the original content is so upset, and who is also the co-writer of the film? Like, you had a hand in this. What could they have done between co-writing it and it being released, being prepared to be released in January, that it's this bad? What could go wrong?
So the character is black. So you know what? Then it had to be personal stuff. I bet you anything she spoke out of turn.
Do you think this is a thing of lesbian lovers?
I don't know, but I will say the most times I've ever been offended in my life, when I'm on the highest level of it, is when someone accuses me something of my heart, which is not true.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So somebody, and this is always the activists say it, right? They're like, well, then you must hate poor people. You must hate women. Oh, you went to go see that movie? You must hate women. And I'm like, well, and that's the times I get the most offended. And I'm assuming that the way because Amandla Stenberg has a whole history of, she's a very outspoken activist.
Right.
So I'm sure it was some interpersonal thing, because Bex in the comments is pointing out that the character is black. It wasn't a gender. It wasn't a racial bent character.
Yeah. Beck says, don't understand why she's upset though when she was caping for that girl to play the main character. After fans of the story were upset and confused because the character is black. The story is about colorism. So wait, okay. I'm lost. Is Amanda Stein what's her face?
Amandla Stenberg is incredibly light-skinned. Okay, so I'm wondering if the director, because once again, you can write a film, and it's the director who can be like, you know what, let's make this character black. and they can just overturn the script because the script, doesn't necessarily depict race in it. It is possible. I wonder if they're missing the concept and like maybe the Princess Amari. And I don't know, Bex, please help clarify because I'm assuming you read it. It sounds like you read it. Maybe Princess Amari is dark skinned. And like Hollywood, because we know how Hollywood does it. Hollywood loves their light skinned chicks.
But this is insane.
Okay.
Yeah, the only time they're
Besides
getting
the
a dark skinned girl
salacious
to play
nature of this, it's
someone
like,
is when they're putting
drop-
her in monster makeup.
Or if it's the help in the background saying,
Oh, right, right.
some magic Negro type stuff.
There's some actual real like big issues around this, and like certain questions get brought up in my head, like, well, wait a minute, if you're kind of a partner with the studio here, like you sold the rights for them to be able to make it, you co-wrote this.
Gotcha.
That's what it is. So it's, I guess here's what it is. I can see how somebody can perceive that as a race swap or a race bend, right? But this is about the darkness of the actress, or probably started that way.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I see what's happening here. I
love it. This is happening in the new Captain America and Black Panther video game where they're having the king of an isolationist African nation be a light-skinned brother with like green eyes or some shit. I was like, that is not Black Panther's ancestor. There's no that might be a future king. That ain't no past king.
I see what's going on here, right? Yeah. So the problem is Amanda Steinberg doesn't have naturally white hair. And people it's all sorry. Fans were also upset because the author had a chance to pick a Nigerian actress, but she did not. Yeah. Well, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a Nigerian with white hair.
Script.
Well, I mean,
maybe
movie
you don't
makeup,
have to
Storm and
lie,
shit.
but should you be coming out and bashing publicly and bad mouthing this movie when you took the check?
Oh, horrible
Like,
take.
you took the
Horrible
money
take, Campy. As
and you
usual.
smiled. And like maybe you just don't say anything if there's something going on. Like don't lie, but maybe you just don't say anything. Just don't like. Is there a contractual issue here where you're coming out and slamming and bashing this project? That I mean, let's face it, this is going to hurt the movie.
Yeah,
this is
her
absolutely going
intention.
to hurt the movie.
She probably would have got her payday.
I don't know how much, but it's definitely going to hurt it.
Well,
having the author come out and slam you so clear.
Yeah, this is definitely going to hurt the movie. I agree with you. Maybe her intent was to hurt the movie, get the check, hurt the movie, and stay true to the fan base. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. If you already got your payday and you don't have any back end deal, you've already been paid. You can say whatever you want, but I think he's wrong. Here's what I'm saying. He's talking about being like, I guess, like kind or a good person or like, or whatever. But at the end, like for instance, George R.R. Martin, he hates HBO. He wants to murder HBO, even though they're making him a rich man because of what they did to Game of Thrones.
Really? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah. So, oh my God. So you didn't know about this? So, check this out. The reason the final 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, well, it's not the reason. It's not the only reason. But one of the things is they had reached the point of the books and they needed the future of the books. Right. And then they asked George R.R. Martin, how does your novel end? And then he said to them, I'm not going to tell you because you've already destroyed my thing by changing all these things from my book. You've changed too much. I'm not going to tell you the real ending because you're just going to butcher that. And so they had to make up an ending to Game of Thrones on their own because the Game of Thrones series is not finished.
Right.
So, yeah, but here's what it is. George R.R. Martin kept that in private. These are whispers in Hollywood that he told them off like that.
Okay. Yeah, but he's nowhere near to finishing that series, I think. He'll be dead before.
Unfortunately, he's in his 80s. No offense to old people who listen to the Fanboy Modeling School.
But whatever you got going, you better wrap it up Wrap it up, bro.
Yeah. Well, here's what it was. He was writing all these other things, and I remember my brother was like, "Yo, when's he gonna finish these damn novels?" And I said, "Oh, well, he's thinking of it. He's an artist." I pulled the artist card, right? I was like, "He's an artist. He's feeling things. He's not in the mood. You can only write when you're in the mood and all this stuff." Maybe he wanted to work on other projects. And then my brother said this, and this is very clearly. He says, "Well, and are any of those other writings making him a millionaire?" Because Game of Thrones is.
Good point.
And so that I realized, I was like, yeah, you're right. He really should have finished the series. He had forever to finish that.
Good point. Yeah. Bex, this series of books, is it good? I was thinking about buying it at one point, but then I didn't.
Clearly, when she was so involved.
No,
Now,
I don't
again,
agree with that.
I don't want to sound like I'm passing judgment on her either, because for all we know, I don't know, Paramount executives broke into her house and killed her cats. And she's really upset, and she's legitimately is really mad and has legitimate gripes. That could be the case too. We are simply in the dark about it. We don't know. But all other things being equal, it feels kind of, I don't know, man. If you took the check, I think you've got an obligation to just stay quiet and let the movie play itself out. You don't have to come out and support it if you don't want to, but maybe
I'm a liberal.
I don't. Here's what I'm saying. I think he's talking about like decorum or something, and that's fine. That's fine if that's his take, right? At the end of the day, if you really hate something, you can sabotage it. Yeah, go for it. Do you? Because here's what I'm saying. Think about how many pieces of art or novels or video games or comics have been ruined because they didn't follow the script. Supergirl's an example of this. This just happened. They had a comic book that they claimed they were adapting, and they didn't follow the story of the comic book.
Yeah.
And they made a piece of crap.
Or you could be Kathleen Kennedy and say out loud that, well, Star Wars doesn't have any source material. It has six.
Oh my God, the nerds are flipping out right now.
My mom didn't bring my meatballs at the right time.
So some Sith assassin is going to jump out of bush and whack her with his professional lightsaber, right?
Oh, now this is interesting. Bex said, I liked it, but nah, don't buy it. F her. Now, Bex, now that's some real fan stuff, and I can get behind that. You sold the property. You were a part of the demise of your own property, and now you want to come out and say something. Speak on it, Bex. Let them know why you're mad, man.
Because here's how it is. You know how these Hollywood types operate, right? And I'm sure one of the things that always comes up with these creators, or they're probably like, are you going to be faithful to my source material? Are you going to be faithful to my novel? And they're like, are you kidding me? I'm the hugest fan of it. I read it all the time. It's like my Bible of Afro-futuristic sci-fi, right? They probably say all the right words. And then she signed the dotted line, and then they fucked her in the ass. Pardon my French, guys. And so that's what I don't like, because obviously it's Hollywood, so it's duplicitous.
Yeah. This is interesting. I think Campia's got an interesting take on this, because here we hear an unbiased take, and I'm going to point out how this is unbiased. Campia could have easily gone the route of Black Girl Magic on this, right? Respect her property, respect her rights in this manner. But he's like, no, man, this is business. You signed off on it, you gave it up, and this is what you get in part for working with Paramount, because
don't say anything. But again, I'm saying that from a position of ignorance, because I don't know what the actual issues are. But clearly she feels very strongly. The other dynamic here, though, unfortunately, is this: fair or unfair, right or wrong. There is a reality here, maybe unfortunate, that is any studio ever going to work with this author again?
Oof.
Is
any studio made?
Because what he's doing right now is he's coming from it. And I understand his point of view. He's making a good point. Absolutely. Will any other studio doing it? But you know what it is? He is obviously not an artist. I understand. I doubt he's ever written a script in his life. He's not a creator, because if he did, he would understand how sensitive creators are about their babies.
Right.
But if you're looking from an artist's point of view, She's probably so angry. She's probably like, I don't care if I get another movie deal ever again. I just want to write my books and be left alone.
Yeah, but isn't she culpable in this if she co-wrote the screen adaptation?
Well, it depends on what the change they made, because once again, if there's what's on the page, but then the director can mess with whatever.
Okay, I hear you.
Not that he can change, unless he's the executive producer, he can't change the script. But what I'm saying is, you can change what's perceived, right? You could write a crime novel with all black guys in it, and then the director could be like, you know what? I feel like these are white guys. Let's cast white guys, and you'd be pissed, right?
Yeah, they did that to me when I came up with the Usual Homeboys, and they changed it to The Usual Stuff. It's Tyrone Biggums. You got to really want evil things. Also, making other black artists look bad as well. You already know how stereotypes go.
You know what it is? I'm proud of her because she's standing up against these monsters. Because like George R. R. Martin's silent. He just won't go to any press events, and he doesn't want to be seen with Dan and Dave. Right. That's one way of doing it, but another way of doing it is saying, you're going to mess with me, I'm going to give you a public F you.
That's interesting. It's funny because Grace Randolph is not covering this. It's interesting that Campia was the one that picked it up, man. Very interesting.
So, in terms of like Grace, we love Grace here, or we love talking about Grace here. Grace only talks about she only has like 5 or 6 topics she ever really talks about, and she just keeps talking about them over and over again. They're usually comic books, they're usually superhero stuff. Yeah, she doesn't. But Campia, his show, I do agree with you. He is good on he hits all angles of the Hollywood business. He's very good at that.
Yeah, no, there's not much he isn't going to cover. And I got to be honest with you, man. I respect him for trying to be as objective as possible. But at the same time, it's interesting that he's the one that picked up the story.
It is funny. I mean, I've seen other YouTubers talk about it, but once again, they're niche film people, right?
Yeah.
And what I think Grace is looking for like the most mainstream thing. Another thing I have to say, this is going to come off as horrible.
Okay.
I don't think she necessarily covers black people stories, right?
Say it like it. Grace is like, well, this is, her saying this is not really for me to cover is another way of saying I don't want to roll around in the mud, as it were.
So I'll give you an example, and I'm
going to eat white cake.
One year that it was I remember I was offended, right? What Grace said. So it was a year when the Academy Awards were coming out, right? And so they nominated Selma. Right. The movie about the Martin Luther King march, right? And then the other one, it was either The Help or it was Hidden Figures. I can't remember. I just remember it was about black women. And what Grace said is, she's like, I don't understand these choices. She's like, Selma and The Help, they're basically the same movie. Oh. And what she means is all black movies are the same.
Yeah.
Obviously, Selma and The Help are very different movies. Right?
Just like, and while we're at it, vampires in a black community in a black town. I don't know if what was this movie this guy made, The Vampires, man.
Right. Sinners or whatever.
Sinners. It's just like, I don't know if this really represents what.
Yo, Bex, it is never too late to stand up. That Bex said she already signed on the dotted line, too late to stand up. Unless in her contract it says you can't stand up, you can always stand up, especially if the person's being an asshole. F that.
Bex says it's giving all black people look alike.
Yeah, people like her think black people don't go to the movies. Exactly.
So we're gonna talk about the Odyssey because I need to know if Achilles has really been cast. I got the trailer queued up here. I just want to know if this is a real thing because I'm gonna go see this movie.
I'm definitely seeing this. I cannot wait to see this. Here's what it is. I'm not 1,000%. I'm very confident that Ellen Page was not cast as Achilles. But I could still be wrong. But you got the trailer?
I got the trailer. It's already shared up. But I keep seeing are these all really good AI deepfakes? And that Ellen Page as Achilles in the Avengers thing that's going around is amazing. Have you seen that? It's absolutely amazing.
Odysseus. Don't you remember? Thunder. Fire. Death.
I remember. A wife. A son. Home.
Anything about this?
Ithaca's a kingdom waiting for a king. My dad is coming home. You're pining for a daddy you didn't even know. Like some sniveling bastard. Ithaca's king is coming back. Bringing vengeance. Bringing it all. I could take the throne.
They're not giving up power to you or Odysseus. Do you think life goes back to the way it was? That world is gone. If you return, he'd have to kill him, like you will.
You gods don't speak in ways we understand.
Who doesn't understand pain? Or blood? The gods told you.
Then I defy the gods.
That image doesn't reveal.
The gods.
The gods told you.
Then I defy.
Or blood? The gods.
It's not Achilles. It's not Achilles.
There's an arrow.
I mean, it was a war. People were littered in arrows, but that is funny. That is funny that there happens to be an arrow there. Do you think that that's where that rumor started? That someone saw this shot and they were like, there were arrows. Achilles was killed by arrows.
No, I think it's some MK Ultra, getting us ready for the obvious. Like someone, they knew, hey, a new version of streamingboo.com is out, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for the premiere. So. I do not believe that they are playing. I do not believe that they are playing Achilles. You don't have faith in Hollywood. Is that what it is?
No.
So let me tell you all the theories that are going on around about this production, right? So here's what it is. I'm always fine. I'm fine with I'm pretty much fine with race bending as long as it doesn't go like too extreme, right?
Right.
Or if race is important to the character. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I don't think Captain America, if we're talking about Captain America, Steve Rogers, the story would make sense if he was black.
Yeah.
Right. So that wouldn't be an appropriate one. However, I think other characters could theoretically be black. I wouldn't care if Batman was black because it has nothing to do with his character.
Okay.
Right. But that being said, so I've been defending all the race because once again, people are like, there are no Greek actors. Well, that's pretty restricting. You can only have Greek actors because it's a Greek myth. That is ridiculous, right? Remember, he may be English, he's British, we're American. It's mostly an American cast. This is an American movie. It would make sense that the people who make up the cast are Americans, and Americans are all shades. We're all different shades and colors, and so it totally makes sense,
right?
But people are saying, the rumor is that pages include me in this, and all the different race stuff is because of Hollywood's new Oscar rules. You heard about this?
No.
So the Oscars have changed the rules of what can be nominated. So a picture can only be nominated if it follows all these diversity standards. And your cast, you have to have a certain. They literally have percentage of diversity, like how diverse is your cast, and if you don't have a diverse cast, you cannot be nominated for Best Picture.
Interesting.
This is an actual thing. It sounds ridiculous as the words leave my mouth. It sounds ridiculous, but this is actually a thing that they're imposing.
Okay.
And people are saying that he's only doing these like stunt castings so that he's eligible for an Oscar.
Could this not just be Paris?
I mean, it could be anybody. This is what I'm saying. We have no information. We have absolutely no information. I have no idea where people got this idea that Paige is playing Achilles.
And would that be controversial if Elliot Page was playing?
I would have a problem with it, because you know what I'm saying. Because that would be blatantly a political move. Because for starters, so Achilles is one of their greatest warriors, right? You expect someone who's big and jacked and diesel, someone who looks like they can handle themselves in a fight, right?
Right.
And Paige cannot.
Paige
does not appear that way.
What was Achilles' his lover? What was his lover's name? It wasn't Paris. Paris is the brother.
Paris. Paris is one of the Trojan princes. I don't remember.
But there it is. That's the movie. This is not AI.
And here's what I'm saying. I have no problem with trans people in the movie at all. No, of course not. Why would I have a problem with that? But I'm saying, here's what I'm saying. If you're gonna cast a trans person as Achilles, it's got to be a big trans person. it's got to be a trans person who looks like they could rip my head off. You know what I'm saying?
Told you.
Then I defy the gods.
Let's go back. Okay. So let's say that was the scene where Achilles beheads the statue. That didn't look like Elliot Page to me. Did it look like Elliot Page to you?
The statue? No,
the person beheading the statue.
No, I think that's Matt Damon. So apparently Travis Scott is in the movie. Why though? So he plays a Greek poet.
Yep.
He's gonna play a Greek poet, and he's gonna be laying down bars. Here's what I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna literally be laying down bars, but he's gonna be speaking poetically in the movie.
Okay.
And actually, Nolan has discussed this.
Okay.
That he said that he's like, because I'm comparing the way that rap is to the way poetry was back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. You look like you're like, what is this crap I'm about to be forced to see with Mantis?
Oh man,
I dig it. I dig his artistic vision. How it is like the Greeks were already gay, so same thing. Says back.
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
So this is gonna be fun.
I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be absolutely fun. I mean, it can't be Supergirl's level of trash, but
it can be. anything can happen now. Anything of the two epics, I've always preferred the Iliad over the Odyssey. But
I get that.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Mantis is.
I think it's gonna be awesome. I think we're gonna have a good time, and I don't think the image of Achilles is gonna be ruined. So the question is, here's what it is. I've come full and center about my opinion on the casting. How would you feel
if Elliot Page was casted as Achilles? I thought my laughing, the cringe faces that I've been making this entire time, I thought my whole vibe switch would make it obvious that I'm totally for this. I gotta see it. Gotta see it happen. No, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I understand the reasoning if you're saying. I mean, I comprehend what you're saying, that the Academy wants certain quotas met, but to me personally, man, it almost feels like you're trying to have these people ostracized from popular media, that you want to put them front and center so they can be victimized. Like, you want the Steinbergs, you want the Travis Scotts, you want the Elliot Pages of the world front and center in your passion project, because you secretly loathe rap, you secretly love Dino, and you secretly hate Elliot Page. And you're like, what can I do to make sure that these people get the maximum amount of harassment?
Oh, right. Like, you know, people are already on it. What is it? What's her place? Lupita Nyong'o is playing Athena, the goddess.
You gotta hate her. No,
people are gonna flip on that.
No, Zendaya is playing that character. Lupita is playing Helen of Troy.
Oh, she's playing Helen of Troy. Okay, but despite my shock, I don't want anyone to misread it and say Mantis is against it. I'm not against it. Helen of Troy probably didn't look like Lupita Nyong'o, but why not? Why not?
I mean, Lupita is a beautiful woman.
Beautiful woman. Yeah, beautiful woman.
Like, there's no qualifier, no quantifier. But there's just stuff that I think people do to enrage people. Take us, for example. How many episodes have we done where I've simply taken a drink and I'm like, I'm about to say some wild stuff?
That's what we stopped drinking on air.
Christopher Nolan is clearly an op, and he's trying to.
I think he's just trying to win an Oscar, is what he's doing. But so the question is this wokeness, or is this I'm trying to win an Oscar? Can it be both?
It could be both. It could be following classic thespian, you know. I like I've said countless times leading up to this, and in many other subjects that we've covered, when I've seen off-Broadway productions, the school we went to across the street from Lincoln Center, I saw I went to go see the Odyssey in the 5th grade, and it was a multi-racial cast. And there's something about seeing something off-Broadway or on Broadway in that depiction where you don't make a big deal out of it, because you're like, hey, these are the best of the best actors, right?
I've seen a British black man play a Nazi before.
Yeah,
on stage.
Yeah. So it's just something about that. But this feels intentional.
So do you think he's trying to raise a conversation? He's trying to be edgy. He's an edgelord now, or what it is? That's not Nolan normally. No, actually, he's notorious for his almost completely white casts.
Yeah, but he's reached such a level of popularity and reached a place where it's like of artiste, where he's like, I can do anything. I wouldn't be surprised if next week Nolan is arrested in Philadelphia for putting his balls on someone's and saying that this is my art.
Well, this is the thing. This is true, however, that every great artist eventually goes too far, right? And there's basically everyone's like, in Nolan we trust. He's had all these years of doing great movies. It's possible we're gonna go and it's gonna be this is the one that breaks him.
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't kept up enough with what normal people are saying. The parts of the internet we're in are filled with rage and hatred and outrage and stuff like that. I don't know what normal moviegoers are saying about this. I only know what the thumbnail community is saying. And that's
right. These thumbnailers, man. And this is one thing that really pisses me off. They're acting so enraged about these casting choices as if they give a damn about the Odyssey. Yeah, I get it. The critical drinker can flip out because his Green Lantern comic was miscast. Okay, I get it. But
Right.
don't pretend like you sit around every summer and read the Odyssey book.
It's the book that built Western civilization.
It may have been, but I bet if he did read it, he read it in high school or something, or something like that, and then never looked at it again, right?
Right,
That's probably more likely. And so this is like false rage that they're like, Lupita Nyong'o as Helen. No. Like, you don't care about Helen.
It's gonna be bad, my nigga. It's gonna be the perfect time to queue up Dustin Poirier. You know, I gotta make that a part on my soundboard.
She says, I'm not mad at it, but it is the truth, Steve. Okay.
What? Oh yeah,
Bex is saying what you're saying. You know, this is weird. So this is interesting because, like, am I the only person who's fine with this?
That's because you haven't seen it yet. You're on the fence secretly.
You know what it is? It's because I'm a Nolan fanboy.
Yeah.
You know, Inception is in my top 10 movies.
I enjoyed Inception. Wouldn't put in my top 10, and I wouldn't put what was the other one?
I mean, he's got plenty of what Interstellar.
I actually never watched that.
Interstellar, Tenet.
Yeah, Tenet. That's the other one you really love. The one we watched here with Denzel's son. that movie is so high art and high science fiction that I'm just like, I couldn't believe I sat through it and actually enjoyed it. I was like, typically I'd be like, I'm not watching this under any circumstance. I'm trying to vibe, sit back and relax. I don't want to know about the rewind community and all
I understand. Here's what it is. I understand why not everyone vibes with that movie. But that movie is that's high art.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is happening right now? Why is everything in reverse? Why is this a form of technology?
No, but remember he gave us Memento.
That's true.
Remember Memento? You know, back in the 90s, that was the movie, right?
Good movie. That was the good movie.
The Prestige. Did you like The Prestige? That's another one of his great ones.
Didn't watch it.
Didn't see it. Good stuff, man.
You are a Nolan fanboy.
I think he's one. Basically, he's the one director who hasn't ever. I just jinxed him. Who hasn't ever failed me. I'm always intrigued at something he's providing in these movies, and so if he's saying Helen was an Africana, then so be it. I want to see where he goes with this. I want to see where this is going.
You know what's going to be crazy, man, is if this movie does gangbusters in the theaters, the clickbait, the meme community, the thumbnail community, the rage community, going to be interesting to see what their reaction is. That's what I'm always waiting for in these situations, these heavily divisive movies, you know, maybe controversial. If they do well, how they would react to how well it's done, because they're banking on it bombing. But if people go out and see this, that's going to be
it's going to tear it up. I think it's going to do great numbers, because also I think that, like, because he's like a high artist, trust me, there are going to be reviewers. Campy is probably one of them, who's going to say it was genius, even if it isn't genius.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Campy is going to love it. I was honestly surprised by his honest take on Supergirl. But I digress, man. We have more important things to talk about. So X-Men 97.
X-Men 97 is back, man. And so here's the messed up state of superheroes, right? You know how, like, they fired Bo DeMeo?
Yeah.
You know, the showrunner and main writer for X-Men 97, which, by the way, one of the reasons we're probably loving this season, we were talking, in the green room about it, is because these are still his scripts.
Oh,
he had done one. He had written one in season 1 and 2, so a lot of this is his work as well. But people don't want him fired. But here's the problem with what's going on here. It's so rare that the people who create these comic book movies, cartoons, shows do a good job and are accurate to the comic books, that people are diehard defending the one man who does it right. Because he's in a sea of idiots.
Right.
All his contemporaries are complete morons. They don't know. They couldn't adapt a comic to save their life.
Right.
But I will say, X-Men 97 is not just keeping it real. They are doing it right on like it's next level how well they're doing it.
Yeah, and the liberties that they do take are so consistent with the original X-Men animated series that you just don't mind it. Like you can easily write this off as an Elseworld or a contained universe. The centerpiece of the superhero universe in this realm is the X-Men, and I think that's amazing. And I just think it's great how they jump right to two not obscure stories, but two very popular stories, which is the Rodham Tut Kang.
Yeah.
Kang is back.
Kang's in it, and he's white. It's been confirmed he's white in the cartoon.
White Kang. That's amazing to see that. They totally just jump through. Man, Wolverine is really like on the back burner in this series. Like he gets adamantium
almost no lines. And you know what's funny? They just made him the Savage Wolverine. I want to see what it's like for them to interact with Savage Wolverine. I want to see him as a snarling animal.
Yeah, and he can talk. I believe he couldn't talk initially as Savage Wolverine. He was just like, no, he could talk. Sabretooth couldn't talk when Sabretooth was pretending to be brain dead. Sabretooth.
But here's what I'm saying. Do you remember there was a time where like he was so savage he couldn't live in the mansion and he was like living in the backyard in the woods?
Yeah. Like one of my favorite moments is when he encountered animal cuddly Sabretooth out in the woods, and it's just like they didn't know what was going to happen next, and he's like, I know you're faking it, Victor. He's like, I know you're faking it.
Poor Sabretooth, he is treated like a punk constantly in X-Men comic books. Right, like with the Krakoa thing where they were like, we can deal with every mutant except for that jackass.
They buried him underneath. But yeah, man, I thought the first 3 episodes were amazing. I love that it's a half hour, and I don't have an issue with that, man, because the cartoon was the original was a half hour. Jaw-dropping moments in it. I don't want to spoil anything, but the interaction with Cable, Jubilee, Archangel, and War, very intense.
So intense, so crazy intense. Obviously you were saying like the changes of the comic. Like for instance, I understood like obviously Jubilee is playing the Boom Boom character, right? But like obviously interchangeable. Valley Girls, similar powers, it worked perfectly.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. That scene, whether they're arguing on what to do, that was pretty intense.
Yeah, Sunspot has been swapped out to not only be himself in X-Force, but also Cannonball.
Yes, I think I noticed that too. They're putting all of it into him. Which here's what I'm saying: if there was somebody I really wish they had dusted off and brought into it, was Cannonball.
Yeah,
Cable and Cannonball. Cable teaching Cannonball is so epic.
Yeah, no, that is a great done. I love when the New Mutants leave with Cable and then he starts the X-Force proper. This is interesting. I also really enjoyed the future state portions where Forge goes to find the X-Men and Apocalypse's future realm. Thought that was great. I thought all of that was amazing. I was actually just really taken aback by how superior it is to anything else Marvel has done outside of a Spider-Man project.
Exactly. And that's why everyone wants to save Bo DeMayo's job. Yeah, because he's the only one adapting things correctly, and you can tell he's like a fan.
Yeah,
and so I remember he did this on his Twitter when the first season of Daredevil Born Again came out, and a lot of people said it was slow, it was boring. I agree, it wasn't the best season of Daredevil ever, right?
Right.
But he drops 10 stories on his thing of Daredevil, and he was like, this is what I would have made the first season about if I was in that show in the writer's room, and they were all better, they were all bangers, and I was like, oh my god, this guy should have wrote that show too.
Bro, just this concept for Old Man Blade had me so I was like, man, this dude really 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 cares about this property. He probably was poised to do big things in Marvel until what did he do again? He sent them some nudes of himself to some interns or something.
Yeah, he sent sexy pictures to some male interns. And supposedly, this is what I heard. Once again, this is allegedly. He was told to stop, but he continued.
Interesting.
No, not that I'm saying we shouldn't punish abusers, but
right.
On the range of Me Too. You know, it's low bar. It's low bar, right?
My needs as a fan outweigh that intern's feelings, is what you're saying. That's what you're saying right now.
I kid, of course, guys. Abusers should absolutely, you know, go to human resources and repent.
Oh my goodness, man.
Oh,
Yeah, but I really enjoyed in these first three. I'm looking forward. So when is it? When do they drop? When is
Wednesdays? Wednesdays is when the new episodes drop. I want to do a quick spoiler though. It's such a minor spoiler. It shouldn't, you know, you guys shouldn't be too shocked. But episode 2 of the season is the X-Force one, and I really appreciated that they created a new intro for X-Force.
Yeah, that was really
That was so cool, and they each get a character card.
Yeah. That was really cool. I love the representation of Psylocke as well. I thought that was right on point, man.
It's on point.
They still have Cyclops repping this season. Cyclops is repping hard, man. They're building up, and actually, you see hints of Cyclops going evil in that episode, man. You can see how he makes the jump to the Cyclops that snaps Professor X's neck.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I do love Magneto's dynamic with Iban Senor.
Oh, that was fascinating. You know, I thought that was really interesting that in that plot, Professor X is the not good, nice guy, and Magneto is being the good guy, the guy. He's like, we could reform him. This is before he's no, but this is like the argument against pre-crime, that it's like we're meeting a man before he's done anything.
Right.
We could direct him into being a hero or whatever, and I would have gone with Magneto if I was an X-Man. I would have totally followed his cue.
Yeah,
but,
why not recruit the strongest mutant to exist? I mean, not the strongest mutant, one of the strongest mutants to ever exist in his prime to your side. You know, why wouldn't that be a thing we do, man? Anything else stand out to you in regards to the future episode, the future state episodes, or anything like that?
So here's the thing I'm going to say, and this is they're at least doing it a little light because it's not every episode, but a lot of 90s X-Men plots. This is it. Jean, or some rendition of Jean and Scott's child from the future, there's multiple ones, guys, come back into the past. They fight them. Then they learn that it's your child from the future and they need to learn to love them back. And there was a lot of this. Them being parents was their whole identity through the 90s. There's no other plot they were doing on, right? They did, you know, ever since Days of Future Past, they kept doing variations of it. Do you remember that? It was like Days of Presence Future and Days, you know, like
one of the Future Past Days or something like that.
You couldn't even read the name of the comic when you were picking it. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I know it has something to do with time travel. And so I here's the thing. I grew to kind of hate those plots. And so they did that, but once again, they only did it in one episode where we're seeing Scott and Jean have an emotional thing with their child that they gave up, and you know, this I don't know. It's I could kind of do without it.
So the Oracle, is that not their daughter from a
Yeah, so remember, so Rachel Summers is from the Hound future where mutants are turned into hunting hounds, and she goes back in time and stays there, and she joins Excalibur, and she has the Phoenix Force, and so she's Phoenix, but her future is she's destined to go into the future, and she's the one who brings Cable back, so she's raising her little brother, but she's older. And you know, it's timey-wimey shit.
Time travel.
Time travel. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense.
I love how powerful she is, because like no one stops to think, wait, how are you so strong that you could pull people out of time into various different places, bro? Like, no.
And how could she not stop Apocalypse? She's that powerful. She can't stop Apocalypse. There was someone more powerful than you. You might as well just give up now. Or just join him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the X-Men are some of the most powerful mutants.
Right.
You know, I might want to join him if he's that powerful.
I mean, they let him on the island of Krakoa. Like, he was like the last one they let. They're like, "Are you gonna behave?" He's like, "I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna give it my best." You let me in. Can't promise. But
You know,
if you
so
let
here's the
Mr.
thing.
Creed in, you gotta let me in.
I am. Here's the thing. I'm hoping they don't do Krakoa. I'm hoping they don't do Evil Cyclops. You know why? I want the stories to stay in the 90s.
Yeah.
This is X-Men 97. We're supposed to be seeing 90s X-Men. You know, all that stuff was 2000 stuff, 2010. Like, yeah. Crow is like 2010s or whatever. I don't want them to go that far out of reach.
Yeah, no, it's definitely after 2010s because Hickman wrote the Incursion event like 2014, 2016 era. So it's definitely like 2020s. But listen, man, I'm having a good time with it, man. First 3 episodes, really doing my best not to spoil it. Go watch it. It's an hour and a half, and it's perfect. Not perfect.
But it's three bite-sized episodes, so you can stop between episodes if you need to, right? You can you don't have to sit in one sitting, but it's utterly amazing. By the way, I have to say this, and once again, of course, I'm coming off as like the homophobe of the episode today, right? Because there's a bunch of things Hickman did to characters in his runs that I do not care for.
Yeah, I know you're not the biggest Hickman. So you love him.
Well, because like, I mean, you don't support the thruple.
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
You told me about that. I threw up in my mouth a little bit. I was like, what the polyamorous nonsense is this?
As if Wolverine would ever share a girl. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So question, have you had a chance to see Widow's Bay?
No.
Okay. Amazing show.
Widow's Bay, huh?
It's almost like I don't know. I don't want to fuck up your expectations. It's like a more serious version of Buffy. It's not about fighting vampires or anything like that. It's creepy, it's horror and stuff like that, but it's also kind of funny.
It's on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Oh no,
it's really good.
Okay. So what the hell is it about?
So it's about this island a New England island that's like cursed. It has a horrible, evil curse on it. And so the people who live there believe, and they live in the modern age, they believe they can't leave the island or they'll die. If you were born on the island, you can't leave the island. And they get this new mayor, and he's from the mainland. And he thinks they're all a bunch of hicks. And so he's trying to turn this place into a tourist trap, but there's something clearly evil about the island. And so it's sometimes horror, it's sometimes comedy. It's a good time.
So it's a story about Mindami taking over New York City.
Basically, it's one guy.
It's like, why won't you people leave Manhattan? All right, I'll check that out, man. I'll check that out. I was just perusing through stuff last night, just watching recaps on movies I've seen, and I told you about a werewolf movie that came out that was on Hulu a while back, and I don't know if you ever watched it, but
what was it called?
I can't remember the name now, and I don't want to go through my history, but basically,
why can't you go through your history?
Okay. Well,
what kind of weird stuff do you have on your history?
All kinds of stuff.
You want our listeners to know what you're watching?
Mostly about midgets throwing, but it's this movie about gypsies that are living in some type of English town, and they use a curse to protect themselves from people that brings werewolves. And
I love werewolves, right?
Yeah, and I told you to watch this. Let's see, what's the name of this movie? Is it no, not Hemlock Grove. Oh, for the love of Jiminy Crickets, you're really gonna make me do this, aren't you?
Okay, you know what? We'll find it off air.
But anyway,
it's a movie or it's a series?
It's a movie. It's an actual movie, and man, I really think you would love this, man. Gypsy werewolves. Silver teeth.
Silver teeth. Okay, I'm in.
What is in it? The Curse. Oh man,
it's just called The Curse. Okay.
It's such a good movie. You want to watch the trailer with me real quick, since we're in like the twilight part of this?
Absolutely, I do. And then also, I don't know if you've ever watched it, but as long as you're hitting up Apple TV, another thing you should watch: Murderbot.
Murderbot sounds anime-y.
It's live action, but it's about a android whose his sole job is to murder. Like he's a security droid and he's supposed to protect these colonists.
Okay.
And he's not supposed to have sentience. However, he does, and he doesn't like humans.
Learns to feel. All right, bam. I'm sharing it right now. So this movie is an interesting take on werewolves, man, and it is extremely graphic. I just want y'all to know that.
We've all dreamt of a silver that has cursed this land.
She was right. Bex has seen it.
Judas asked, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you?"
Oh, that's scarecrow. Man.
We will all pay for the sins made by our elders.
There's a manor house. They've sent for me regarding their son who's gone missing. It may be connected to what you've been looking for.
Did the girls see what attacked them?
What's happening here?
The land's been cursed.
I'm intrigued.
Good stuff. It is actually really good.
It looks good. Bex is approving it down in the chat. That's awesome. I'm on it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it as soon as I can. And my final recommendation for the night,
okay,
is They Will Kill You.
They Will Kill You,
which unfortunately has a horrible name, but is a great movie. Now, this is the horror version of Kill Bill.
Oh yeah, with Zazie Beetz.
Yes, it's actually amazing. It's not just good; it's amazing. I would say it's amazing. And so basically, she checks into a hotel, and there's Satanists who run it, and they're trying to sacrifice her. The thing is, they don't know is that she's a kick-ass warrior. She's got a bag of guns and blades, and she has to fight her way out.
I love that. And I know you're a big Zazie Beetz fan. I enjoyed her a lot in Deadpool 2. And I also enjoyed her in The Joker. And even though I haven't watched much of Atlanta, ATL, she's actually really good.
Yeah, she's great. She's wonderful. I love her. But I definitely recommend it. People slept on that movie, and I think it's because of that stupid title.
Yes.
They Will Kill You. They could have marketed it better, but it's a good ride. You will like it.
All right. I love that. I love that. My brother, did you have fun tonight?
I had a blast.
Isn't it funny that our most organized episodes, no one shows up except for all the fun listening?
You know why? Because they want the messy. They want the messy. Next week, Steve's going to come up with some very volatile debate structures that he wants to hit me up with. He'll be like, what about this? And what about your President Trump? We're going to get into it. Next thing you know, we're going to be yelling at each other. Our friendship is done for the next hour. And that's when they show up. That's what they want to see. But here, when we're just talking, we're having a good time hanging out, they can't deal with it.
You know what? But we do appreciate you folks over at RizRadio.com catching all the replays and enjoying all this internet radio stuff.
Absolutely. So my question for you is this weekend, are you going to have a new episode?
Yes, I am. In fact, I'm going to quit my job.
I don't want. Well, I do want you to quit your job, but don't do it if your wife's gonna be mad.
Don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me. Yes, we will have a new episode because there's a lot of stuff to go over and have a good time with, and maybe before Jesus comes back, we'll get Bex's first episode of Bex Rated. Actually, maybe we could just help Bex out. Bex, why don't you? I should ask my partner in crime this first. Why don't we just have Bex on the show next week?
Yo, Bex, come on the show next week, and also why don't we just call each other this week? Talk.
Bex
Make this thing happen. What did she say?
I think she called me a bum.
Okay. Well, Steve is trying to be nice to you, and that's how you treat him. Okay. we see how it is. But yo, guys, I'm just gonna jump in there and remind you guys to tune into Riz Radios on Saturdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. for Burn Your Degree, where the Fat Mantis blows your minds with interesting facts and philosophical conundrums. Please check me out. Of course, we're gonna play today's hottest music, including music from the newly married evil Taylor Swift, who stole air conditioning from speaking of bums, all those poor bums in Penn Station.
What?
You don't know about this?
No.
So she rented out Madison Square Garden so she could have her wedding have 20,000 guests. That is correct. So she rents it out, right? They had to close the Madison Square Garden for blocks, but to make sure they didn't lose air conditioning, Mr. Mayor Mamdani, Mr. Socialist himself, taking money from celebrities, he turned off the air conditioning in all of Penn Station for the day so that Madison Square Garden wouldn't lose air conditioning.
You see how my eyes just went dead?
Dead at the truth. Dead at the hard truth of life. Obviously, people are criticizing him because he's Mr. Socialist. He's like, oh, he's such a socialist dude. A rich woman is like, I'll pay you to kill the bums with a heat stroke. And he's like, okay.
A second. They're done.
Like, could letting her have this wedding, is it really that worth it? Like, I mean, how does it help the city? But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Well, I'll be tuning in to Burn Your Degree to hear more about that.
No, I'm going to go on about it.
This has been another episode of Fanboy Modeling School. I'm Steve. He's
the Fat Mantis.
Ciao for now.
And you've been awesome. We switched lines, sort of.